So let's get this out the way. Theories regarding who that female was at the end of the chapter. It could be an Althamen member, but you gotta think, would Hakuryu go back after he killed his mother and did everything that he did and work with Althamen? I don't know. It kind of is iffy with that one because it's like, first of all, his mother, if she is still alive, which she probably is, come on, let's be real here, Gyoquin ain't going away. Arba is not leaving the premises just yet. So it could be that, but it's highly unlikely because he wouldn't want to work with the same people, or his mom for that matter, to take down Koan after his whole goal was to kill all these motherfuckers that he's related to. Sinbad. Because he said, it's back to my original, basically, route. The original way I was going to do things. If you remember back, the original plan that he had, Sinbad, help me to take down Koan. Let's work together. Let's do this. And initially, Sinbad was like, no. Sinbad's a shady motherfucker, and if things is getting tight right now and he needs the power, he might very well go with Hakuryu. And I don't know, this girl kind of looked a little bit like a mixture of like an Althamen type of member, but at the same time she said, my majesty will definitely serve you, or etc, etc, like we'll be happy to. So it's kind of making me wonder, like, would Sinbad really go that route and take Hakuryu? And even though Hakuryu has completely done so many devastating things just to go and, you know, come at Koan or whatever, or what's going to happen there? So kind of a couple different things. It could be a whole different person that we don't know of. It could be, I don't know, the ghost of David or something along the lines of that. But I'm betting if it's anybody, it could be some sort of connection to Sinbad. That was his original plan in the very beginning when we met him. It was like, Sinbad, please help me kill my brother. And the beginning of the chapter, Hakuryu was pretty much like, even after everything, I lost Judal, you lost Alibaba, let's just end this to the death. But I can see small little inklings of, what the fuck am I doing at this particular point? But he's still going through, which is good. It's like, with even the small doubts that he might have, because you can see he's tired, he's stressed, he's depressed, and he's still kind of trying to go at it. He's like, I don't give a fuck. And honestly, it's Aladdin's good nature, I think, which is what is making Hakuryu feel that way and kind of have those little small sentiments of regret, because when he looks at him and he's like, you know, about to go crazy in on him, when Aladdin's like, why are you doing all this? What is the meaning of all this? What are you going to get out of all this? At first he's about to snap at him like, what do you mean, motherfucker? And he sees Aladdin there crying, and he's like, fuck, you know, like this little kid that he was my friend at one point. Alibaba was my friend. Morgiana, I loved her. All this good shit, and I'm throwing it all away. So you could definitely see that it's because of Aladdin's good nature that Hakuryu feels this way, even if it's the smallest of regrets, but he's not going to let it stop him. And that's one of the things that I'm like, that's an Avenger. That's a true Avenger right there. He does not give a fuck. At the end of the day, he gives a fuck, but it's in the back of his mind. It's in the deep, dark crevices of his fucking ass. He doesn't care. It's like, motherfucker, people gotta die, and that's just the way it's gonna go. And if you notice, him losing Judal was a big blow to him. And he's depressed as fuck over it, because he's like, so, will he come back if I kill you? Will he come back if he dies? Will he come back like any which way? Is there any way for that motherfucker to come back? He was like desperate for Judal to come back, because that was, again, a kindred spirit to him that he lost. And he's depressed as fuck about it. And it's like, that's going to have a huge toll in the decisions that he makes from here on out, because he lost the one person that was like ride or die with him. Now, the mention of the transfer magic, when Aladdin was like, he has transfer magic, but it only has a small range. Honestly, I think that's a huge setup for Judal to return later on. He used it. He got away to, I don't know, some planet, some magical hole in the universe, somewhere along the lines of that. Judal ain't dead. I don't know. I just don't see it. He's going to be gone for a while. Maybe it'll be 70 chapters, 100 chapters. He will return at some given point, and I think that was a setup right there. He has transfer magic, but it doesn't have, you know, a long distance, but he found a way, I'm sure of it. With Hakuryu mentioning the cruelty of what Aladdin did, you gotta wonder, because this is the same motherfucker that just chopped off his mother's head without thinking twice, and had visions of killing the girl that friend-zoned him, but he still deeply loved and wanted to be with, and try to kill his best friends, but he's telling Aladdin what he did was cruel. So that's, I think it could be a mixture, but at the same time, it's one of these. Either the regret is truly kicking in, and he's looking at things like, holy shit, the old Hakuryu might be back there, or it's that he's aware of everything that he's done that is fucked up, but he still sees, yeah, that's pretty fucked up. You left this motherfucker in space with no way to ever return. Or it could be that he just never expected Aladdin to go that far and that dark, that to send someone to the fucking outer parts of the atmosphere with no way to return. So it's almost as if he's like, in a way, disappointed that the good nature of Aladdin would ever go that dark. And that's probably some of the hopes that he had as well. And it gets a lot deeper, which is what Magi does. It just really goes very deep, that even though he's a fucking piece of shit, Hakuryu has done so many terrible things at this particular point, he still has hope that the good people, like Aladdin, will be good. And motherfucker's like, even though I only have one real arm and I have no legs, motherfucker, I'm gonna sprout some plants for legs. I'm like, this motherfucker just don't quit. And I think with him offering Aladdin, like, please join me, let's go together, that was just, again, a desperate attempt. He wants to go through it any way possible, and this last-ditch effort, which I'm really hoping it doesn't go the way of, like, some of the stuff we've seen in the past, where eventually he takes in a black djinn and becomes, like, a monster and everything. Like, please, no. We've seen it already a couple different times. I don't want that to happen. That's kind of going to be a little bit disappointing if Hakuryu goes that way, and, like, oh, that's the end of Hakuryu. Like, let it be something completely different. I don't want him to turn into a black djinn monster and then eventually get, like, no. Please just do something different. And it seems as though this is the end of, to a certain extent anyway, the Hakuryu rebellion arc. Maybe it's going to go into something a little bit different now that this new person came in. But as far as the fight goes, I don't think he's going to keep fighting with Aladdin. I could be wrong. Like, Aladdin is completely worn out. It could be that Hakuryu is going to go with this person and go off wherever, and then we'll see Hakuryu later on down the road, wherever he's going. But I think this might be the end of this particular little arc with him, and we'll see him later on down the road. But if it was going to be that, I think he would have left at the end of this chapter with that girl. So I'm not really sure where this is going to go. Is this indeed the end of this little section, or is there more to come? And one of the best things about this chapter is, even though Hakuryu realizes all the fucked up things and understands completely the repercussions of his actions, he still won't change. He's still like, motherfucker, I'm going to kill everybody. And I respect the fuck out of that. His determination and his resolve through the roof. So nonetheless, good chapter, 7 out of 10 for this one. Not the biggest thing. A lot of it was just the aftermath and seeing everybody, how they're feeling, what they're thinking at this particular point. But a big setup at the end for his next move, what Hakuryu is going to do, and kind of just seeing where these characters are at right now as far as just the fucked up nature of where they're going. Let me know what you guys think. The biggest question here, who is that woman? Who is Her Majesty? And what is Hakuryu going to do next? And your overall thoughts of the chapter. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. For Neverworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.